So, what's led me to buy a TSH supplement from a more expensive, more reputable company? Maybe not even as much reputable, but a more expensive brand of, something that would help stimulate TSH is the fact that my numbers didn't look right whenever I was looking at um, my lab panels. And I was watching a video by a Dr. Kevin, which I will link. Dr. Kevin, he explains things very, very well. So I'm going to link the video in the description box, and I'm going to pin it to the comment section so it goes right to the top. Basically, what ends up happening, from my understanding, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I like to study this stuff. I like to kind of figure out what's going on. Is your hypothalamus basically senses what's going on inside the body, and then from there, I'm trying to get out of these lights. Let me turn this way. And then from there, it'll tell the pituitary gland to release more thyroxine, which thyroxine is T4, and there's a conversion process that has to happen inside the liver, and it converts it to a more active form, which is T3. Now, there are some things that can happen in between. Dr. Kevin says that your thyroid enzymes can be off. There are many other situations out there. It can be from digestive problems, fatty liver, stress in general, and stuff in your life that's causing all these things. And, in general, thyroid problems don't typically become the first issue of what's going on. But after watching Dr. Kevin's video, he talks about, even though the general recommendation is 0.5 to 4.5, I've seen zero point 0.4 to 4. The recommendations are all shifted left and right just a little bit. Hi, Tammy. Um, what he recommends is 1.8 to 3.0 being the sweet spot for most people's thyroid numbers. If you can get your TSH numbers in between 1.8 and 3.0, it's pretty good, sufficient number to be in, a pretty healthy number to be in. Mine, at one time 0.5, 0.6, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not right. Even though I'm in this scale and everything fits for me, something's wrong here. Guys, it's after midnight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm just bursting with energy since I ordered this supplement. And I don't want to tell anybody about it until I've been doing it for a while, just for the simple fact that I want to be safe. And like I said earlier, I just want to be honest with you guys. I noticed that there was a problem with it. I didn't want to blame it on keto or anything else. I wanted to address it myself. And now that I'm kind of coming out of my financial state a little bit better and making better choices financially and stuff like that, I was able to afford. It was like 110 or 115 bottle of a thyroid supplement that is made from a company that makes androgen receptor modulator. Basically, it's like a steroid, but it's not steroids. And this is just a supplement that they had to help fix thyroids or promote TSH. And I just needed something. I needed something, and I'm tired of going to the doctors. I'm tired of doing it, so I self-diagnosed myself. And over the last couple days, everything's been better. Energy, sleep, my productivity and stuff at work, my strength, just my mood in general, dealing with things 10 times better. So, again, recap my understanding. Hypothalamus tells the pituitary gland release more thyroxine, TSH, or so I'm getting tongue-tied now. The hypothalamus tells the pituitary gland to release more thyroid or thyroxine, which is T4, and then converts into T3. Sometimes it can be an iodine issue, but that's not typically the case. Sometimes it could be a thyroid issue in general, no matter what you do. Tammy, I don't know. I would have to see your numbers and stuff first, and I don't want to recommend it to anybody until I've done it for a while, and then I'll tell you what brand I use, and then you do the work from there. And again, that's only for security purposes. I don't really want to get into recommending something that comes from a company that sells steroid-like products. I mean, this company sells some of these SARMs, is what they call it. They're called SARMs, SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulator, or something like that. Basically, it tries to make the modulators that receive different hormone signaling and stuff inside the body more receptive to it, and it's chemicals that are used to make them more active or more receptive to receiving these, whatever it comes down to. I don't want to play like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff because I don't dabble in steroids. But the company did offer a good product that there was a lot of good reviews on that increases your TSH levels, and that's what I need right now. I needed my metabolism to speed up. I needed more energy and stuff like that. And when I found it, I said, what the heck? I'll try a bunch of different products. I'll see whatever, what else is out there. And I looked at a bunch of different reviews, and they just weren't as good. So I said, I'm going to go with it. And I went with it, and it's been great so far. I don't feel like I'm ready to go to bed right now. Normally my schedule is 3:30 to midnight. So typically, what would you be up a couple hours before you go to work, and then a couple hours after you get off? So it's actually letting me stay up to a normal amount of time, and then go to bed at a normal amount of time, and then be able to function throughout the day normally. So hopefully this will speed things up and get my weight loss started again, and then I'll be able to maybe come off of it. I don't know if you're supposed to run like a liver cleanse and stuff with it, like milk thistle or something like that to make sure your liver's cleaned out while you're taking this kind of stuff. I don't even know if it's a full-blown, like what would be considered a semi-version of a SARM or not. I just know it promotes TSH growth or TSH production, and if my hypothalamus is not telling my pituitary gland to increase this, I need something to do that. And this seems to be working so far. It could be partially placebo effect. It could be partially the fact that it's got some caffeine in the product. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to see what happens. I feel better already. And you guys know I don't like promoting supplements, but I did want to be honest with you about what was going on with me. It just seems like everything internally is slowing down. And once I went back to looking at my lab numbers and stuff and questioning my doctor and everything else, they don't want to do anything about it. Well, I'll do it myself then. And a lot of times people take extreme measures when it comes to stuff like this, and they order medication and things like that from overseas. I had a friend that was getting into bodybuilding, and I kind of feel like a jerk for saying this, but there's a lot of people that we follow online that claim to be naturals. They're not naturals. They are not naturals at all. You can tell by the extremely rounded, wide stance of somebody how puffed out and rounded their muscles are, how it just doesn't look natural, how you can look at somebody that's been working out their whole life and stuff, and they're ripped and they're lean and stuff like that, and they're kind of buff. It's not the same look. It's a completely different look that's not normally generally from a human stature, even some people in their best form. So I don't want to go there. I just know I can tell from being around bodybuilders and what I do that there's a lot of people who we follow that they're not natty, and they claim to be, and they're not. I know they're not. So what you can do to bypass all this is a lot of people will go to these kiosks at the gas stations and stuff, or they'll go online and they'll buy like $500 worth of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin can't be tracked. And a lot of these companies now are starting to go to Bitcoin payment. So, you go to a kiosk, you spend $400 at the kiosk, you get $400 worth of Bitcoin. You go online, you find something in the UK that's more reputable, or in China that's kind of dirty product, but it's not the best. And they'll use that Bitcoin to buy their SARMs or their steroids or something like that, because it can't be tracked. And then there's no way you can prove that they're actually taking it or buying it. Their bank statements don't show that it's trackable. There's a guy at the old job that I worked at in Louisiana, big buff dude, and wasn't really all that strong and stuff like that. He did the same thing, went and bought a certain amount of Bitcoin, bought his steroids and stuff online, had it shipped to his house. Wasn't trackable. Nobody ever knew what he was doing. And there's just so many ways to hide this stuff. When I was overseas in Iraq, there was a dude that would order his Dianabol, his testosterone supplements, and his Winstrol, his Winnie V stuff, by simply just actually going and getting a check mailed to him, and then like say, hey mom, send me a cashier's check, and then she would send it. He would never fill it out, and then he would mail it to the people he was sending it to, so he could get his product in the mail, and then it was completely not trackable at all. So there's so many different ways that this stuff can be done. And when I seen that they had a TSH supplement, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I've got nothing to lose at this point. And if they claim and their reviews are as good as they are, I'm gonna roll with it. And I tell you what, just over the last few days, it's just draining all the water and stuff out of me, and just the sleep and the energy levels and stuff that I've increased in general, and just how much better I feel. I'm not going to say anything about the supplement right now until I've taken a full cycle of it to see exactly what happens, and then I will disclose the company's name, the results, and then I'll let you guys see for yourself, based on how I look and stuff like that when it's all said and done, and maybe, change of attitude, reaction to things, stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. The dog's trying to pull me. She wants to go in right now because she can tell a storm's coming in. I can hear it out in the distance, but she felt it like 20 minutes ago. She already knows she wants to go inside. She's pulling me right now. Anyway, I wanted to just drop something on you real quick so you can look at your levels and stuff yourself. I'm going to drop the video from Dr. Nick so you can see that, and then go from there. I mean, I want to open up a little bit more about these types of things that we normally don't look at. And one of those things is actually looking into what does the hypothalamus do? What does the pituitary gland do? What is T4 in an inactive form that needs to be converted into T3, which happens in the liver? Digestive problems can cause it. Fatty liver problems can cause it. Stress in your life in general can cause it. There's a number of things that can cause it. So, do your homework. I feel better. Let's hope this works. Let's hope I can keep going with it, and then maybe it'll become more affordable and I can share it with you guys. But I want positive results from this first before I say anything, before I open my mouth to anybody at all. A couple people have already asked me about this, and I just don't feel right, and I do apologize. I just don't feel right dropping the name or exactly what the product is just yet until I know for sure that this is it. But I want you guys to see me over the next 30 days and not have to wonder exactly what's going on. How are you losing all this weight all of a sudden when you've been keto and carnivore for so long? It took forever for you to get where you're at. This is why. I bought a supplement from a company that had phenomenal reviews, and it's supposed to be like the cat's pajamas or the cat's meow or the cat's milk, whatever you want to call it, in helping you increase your thyroid levels so you can, or your TSH levels, so you can actually start getting that active metabolism again, that energy and stuff, the better sleep, the better mood, all these different types of things. So I'll share it with you, but just wait, hear me out. We're going to do a weekly review on this, and you guys should be able to tell on your own whether or not something's changed. I appreciate you. Thank you again. Look in the